Okay. Just gonna wait for this to show up, share the stream up, then we'll get it going. Hello, everyone. It is debate time. We're debating a centrist today, a quote-unquote centrist. 1 second as I share the stream. There we go. I see. I know he's in the voice chat. I'm gonna go in a second. I'm just sharing up the stuff real quick, then I'll be good. I'm gonna share it up on Twitter, and then I will go. There we are. Hello, Haley. Alright. I think I got everything up. Alright, I'm gonna join him. Hello?
Hello.
How's it going?
It's going pretty good.
That's good.
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Alright, that's cool.
So
I don't know. I think we should discuss the debate rules first. Because I don't want to interrupt you, and I'm assuming that you don't want to interrupt me as well. So I don't know. I don't know what indication should I give you when I'm finished with my sentence. I
think we'll. I mean, when you come to a clear stop,
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. I guess that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you like to introduce yourself to my stream since
Well, yeah, sure. Well, I mean, what do you mean by introduction? What do I need to say?
I mean, anything you'd want them to know about you.
Well, my name is Oliver. That's that, basically. That's all I want them to know. I don't think that they need to do. Oh, yeah, one more thing. I'm not from the United States. I'm from Hungary. That's all.
Okay.
I think that's all.
You wanna tell them what you claim to be, your views,
Yeah, sure. I mean, this is really complicated because, look, one might find me, a right-wing person, and then another person might find me a leftist person, and that's mainly because, especially when I'm debating with leftist people, they think that I'm a right-winger because I disagree with them. But if I were to sit down with a right-wing person, then they would think that I'm a leftist because I disagree with them on most things. That's why I'm a centrist. And that's why your audience, or I don't know, in the Discord server as well, I haven't really seen people actually agreeing with the fact that I'm a centrist, and that's most likely because I don't agree with them. But they actually haven't really talked about the things that I do agree with on the left. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say that I'm like a full centrist, I definitely lean more towards the left according to the political spectrum and then the test that I've taken. Although,
wait,
some tests showed, yeah.
Economically or socially?
No, like socially.
Okay, so socially to the left, so probably economically to the right, I'd imagine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like very slightly, right? It's basically like a very tiny amount to the left. And then I could say that, authoritarian versus libertarian, I would say that I think I'm a little bit more of a libertarian person, but Yeah, that. I mean, it depends on what topic exactly. I mean, libertarians have a lot of different ideas. So yeah. Well, anyway, I don't know. I don't really know you, so like, could you like introduce yourself to me, because I honestly I don't know anything about you. So.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. I'm the leftist lemon. Obviously, I'm a leftist. I
Mhm.
do YouTube mostly. Not too big. We have about 8 people in there. Yeah. So,
Right.
anyways, let's. We should probably get on to the debate. You can start with your first claim and your first argument. We'll go based on what we were doing on Twitter, and then I'll respond, and I will try not to cut you off.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm gonna have to look at Twitter and what I said, because I already forgot. I don't know what.
We were debating about economics.
Oh yeah, hold on. I'm just looking. I'm just searching for the tweet that I. Okay, yeah, this one. So, I said, I mean, this was sort of a joke. I said, you want to lose weight or something? Is that why you're a commie? Well, yeah, that's the joke. Anyway, doesn't matter. And then you say to that if you wanted to lose weight, we just stay as poor people under our current economic structure. Well, that is, in my personal opinion, that is a very complex thing, because most and I'm speaking from my observations. These are actually not based up on US data. This is from our country.
Yeah.
Mostly poor people do not tend to work as hard as rich people. And
Uh,
that is why rich people are rich, and that is why the poor people are poor. Now, once again, this does not apply to all the poor people. Okay, so like I'm not generalizing. Well, I mean, I am generalizing, because most of the poor population don't really work as hard as rich people who work 13 hours a day and employ a bunch of people. I mean, the pressure on rich people is extremely big. Like, they're not sitting on their couches watching TV all day and eating chips. That's not how it works. That is not rich life. Okay? That, like, you can't, rich people aren't just made, right? They have to work for the things that they want to achieve, and that's what capitalism does. If you want to thrive in our current system, you can. And that is why we see, and there's a YouTube channel, for example. This is just an example. I forgot his name. Graham Stephan, and he was very poor. Well, not very poor, but like poor. And he said that he wanted to achieve his goals. For example, buy a sports car, buy a beautiful house. And guess what? He did that, right? He achieved all these things under the current economic structure. So I would really be interested to hear your reasoning as to why that is, well, I guess false. I don't know if you're claiming that it is false, but yeah. So basically, my viewpoint is that capitalism, like anyone who, how do I phrase this? Anyone who wants to do something and wants to achieve something under the current economic structure, it is going to work out for them. That's basically my point.
okay. I'll start with what you originally said. So,
Okay.
on your first point about how poor people don't work as hard, this is just like blatantly false. Like, wages have remained stagnant for I don't even know how many years. I believe it's about, is it 5 decades or so? And productivity has been like raising through the roof. So your argument about this is like just like blatantly and empirically false. Also, you're like saying that like wealthy people work much harder is just not true, because the way in which like CEOs or bosses make their money is off the backs of their laborers, right? If they didn't have those laborers, they wouldn't be making that money, right? You get what I'm saying there? Also, like, there's a lot of inherited wealth, like for example, like Tim Cook and like becoming the CEO of Apple, right? like he inherited all that wealth in that instance. Like that's not an example of Tim Cook working hard. It's just an example of Tim Cook being rich already and then becoming even more rich because he's already in the upper class, so he's kind of in that circle. And then on your argument about poor people like succeeding before, like these stories are extremely rare. Like usually what happens is that poor people are stuck in cyclical, I believe that's the word, poverty, in which since their parents were poor and their parents probably weren't able to get like as good of an education, then that results in their them not being able to provide as much for their kids, right? They can't provide for as good as like education, like they can't pay for like private schools or tutoring or like to pay for them to get into like the best colleges, right? So that also affects them, because if you don't get into like as good as schools and you get bad at like or not as good as education, then it's harder to get a good job, which results in the cyclical poverty. It's a rinse and repeat cycle, so it'll happen for their kids too. So like even if you can give me like one example of just like a poor person making it out of poverty, that person's extremely lucky. However, that's like not what predominantly happens, as we can see specifically in America. Like I believe it's 80% of people live paycheck to paycheck. So also like this idea that if you want to get out of poverty you will is like absurd, because everyone wants to get out of poverty. And obviously there's still a shit ton of people in poverty. Capitalism necessitates that because there has to be a working class in order for there to be like profit and in order to keep the society going. There has to be workers. There has to be people below other people.
Okay. Now can I go on to my...
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So the first thing that you mentioned was that Tim Cook became the CEO of Apple. Now, I did not mean that rich people by their hard work become rich. I said that the pressure on rich people is extremely big because they work whole lot of hours. They work more than 8 hours. They work for 13 hours and blah 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 and this and that. And let's say you get a call from whatever department that this shit needs to be done right now, then that CEO will get up then and do that at that exact moment, because if that is not done, then well the entire company might be in shambles. But so that's one part of it, but some ordinary people, let's just not say the poor people. I'm just going to say, ordinary people can become rich. Now, for example, my parents were raised in a poor family, and they aren't really poor now. I mean, my dad has a Porsche, but anyway. And so this is what I'm saying, is that was not achieved under socialism. That was achieved in the current system. So that's basically my personal example. But the other example is the YouTube channel that I've showed. And you claim that was lucky and these are very rare cases. Well, then how do you explain that they actually work for the things that they have, and they've studied, they've done everything to get out of this situation, and they did that successfully? So how would you explain that? Okay, now that's my first question. I'm just going to write that here, okay? Because you mentioned multiple points that I want to address. So what was my question? Wait, how do you explain poor blah blah blah? Yeah, I'll know. Okay, and then you mentioned that rich people or poor people can't really get into college or get good education, right? Is that what you said?
It's much harder, yeah.
Right. Okay. That might be actually the case in the U.S. because you have a free market there, and that's not a social system. But here's the thing: in our country, we do not have that free market. Basically, everybody can get the same education that they want. And guess what? We still have, extremely dumb people, being homeless. That if I, for example, would give money to them, they would just drink it basically drink away the money, is to say. But that's kind of an extreme example. But once again, it has not worked. Like in our country, we have that social program, I should say, that school is basically free, right? And the state provides that for us. But that does not mean that all these poor people won't be poor, right? These people will stay poor because either they're not studying hard enough, or either they're just, I don't know. I guess their background could also be deterministic of the way they act. In my opinion, I think that there might be some genetics involved. Genetics? Yes, genetics involved.
Wait,
so that also could be the reason why poor people can't get out of this whole situation, is because they're not really productive, as to say, for example, in schools, or because I personally know people back in from my other school that had poor parents, right? And whenever they get a Mark 3, that's kind of like in the middle. I think that you'd call that C in the US.
Probably,
I'm assuming,
yeah.
probably like C or something. They would they wouldn't really care about that whole lot, right? They would just say, yeah, that's fine. Who the hell cares? And when they would get a 1, which is like F or something like that, probably F, the worst mark, then they still wouldn't really care, and they would just fail every single year. And that's what I see. And I don't see that changing. Right? I see the same exact thing in the US as I see it in here. Everybody has the same exact choice, but nobody's really choosing to get better, right? They're sort of just, whatever, it's fine. So like, how are you going to expect these people, even under the same opportunity, so equality of opportunity, how do you expect these people to study a whole lot, right? So it's very complicated, but from my experiences, that's just false. I don't believe that these I mean, obviously there are some poor people that did actually get good education, and they did succeed in their lives, but that's not the majority of cases, especially here in Hungary, where all these people are not so, I wouldn't want to say smart, because that's kind of a broad statement, but not as productive. And I think that has a lot to do, not necessarily genetics, but more psychological, background, I think. But anyway, and then you also mentioned is that claiming that getting out of poverty is lucky. Well, actually, I've addressed that, because that's basically just false. It's not lucky. It's people wanting to do stuff, and they achieve that. So I don't think that it's lucky at all. I mean, hold on. Somebody said Hungary is ruled by proto-fascists.
I would just ignore chat. We don't have to look at chat right now.
Okay, yeah, I would rather not do that as well, because first of all, that's just not true. But anyway, so yeah, that's my point. I don't believe that even if you have equality of opportunity, which you do have in the US, or at least in some parts or in some sectors of of work, I guess, you still won't get you still won't get equality of outcome. That's impossible to achieve, because that is not what the free market does. The free market, decides stuff on supply and demand, and trying to sort of eliminate that kind of seems absurd to me, right? And that's why I'm saying that these poor people are not really getting out of poverty, or even if so, then they're actually achieving that by doing something. Because if poor people aren't gonna, get an education or get a good education, then they're never ever going to, get out of the situation that they're in. And we are seeing that in this country, because we do have that equality of opportunity in education. So yeah.
All right, are you done?
Yep. I'm
Okay.
sorry. Uh, uh, my English is not that good, especially when I'm trying to phrase these long sentences. So that's why I'm taking so long. So I'm sorry about that. I don't really want to talk for so long,
You're
because I
good.
also want to let you talk. So I'm gonna let
Yeah,
you talk.
yeah, you're good. Okay. So on your first point, yeah, you said that there's more pressure on rich people. So just to clarify, this is false. A CEO has a much easier job than a worker does. A worker has to work like the 9 to 5. They're actually on the ground. They're part of like the entire process. They have to be doing something the entire shift, right? Whereas CEOs, they could just be fucking chillaxing. They could be doing whatever, right? Their work
Well, that's not true.
their work is much easier than any labor. It just is. Well, you said it's not true. Can you give me a warrant why?
Yeah, sure. Well, my dad and my mother are in these higher positions.
Are they bosses or
In
CEOs?
No, they're not CEOs, but they're
Okay,
pretty
that's
high
different.
up
They're still laborers
in.
then.
Well, no, because my dad runs a sub company, as if we can say that. So basically, there's a CEO, and then there are multiple like factories around the country, and my dad owns one of, or
So he is a
looks
boss.
over. Yeah.
Right. I
Yeah.
mean, then
So
his labor is
he's
much
boss of.
like
Hold
he does
on.
much less than any laborer that works there at that company. Guaranteed.
No, that's not true at all.
How not?
That's not true at
He's
all.
how not? Why? What's he do?
Well, he's not sitting on his ass, doing nothing. If because I mean, seems to me that that's what you're thinking, that he's just sitting there typing a bunch of shit, and then yeah, sure, why not? No, that's not what he's doing. Just because he's not doing any physical work, that does
Hmm.
not mean that he's not doing work. Okay, that is not how it works,
Okay, what's he
right?
doing?
Well, he basically manages the company, and that sub company that he was running was in shambles, and the previous, I mean, not CEO, but like, I don't know how you say that, but maybe like the boss of that company,
Hmm.
as to say, ruined the entire ruined that entire sub company. And my dad went there and basically fixed that, and
Okay.
it had actually put a lot of pressure on my dad. Like I couldn't really talk to him when he came home. It was very hard for him to even do a whole lot at home. And he was also feeling bad. He was he was in the shower for like 30 minutes or so. So it was I generally saw that on my dad, that
Sorry.
he was he or he had a lot of pressure on his shoulder,
Yeah,
because
no.
watching over
Yeah, I understand.
130 people is not that easy of a business. And I understand where you're coming from, that the average worker does more job. um uh, Physically, I'm that is 100% true,
Hmm.
but that has nothing to do with actual work. I mean, if he would leave, then there wouldn't be workers in the first place, right? So if he
Well,
leaves,
hold
then yeah,
on. To
sure,
clarify,
well then.
if there were no workers, there wouldn't be you dad in the first place.
No, like what I'm saying is that if my dad would quit, because you're saying that he doesn't do as much of a job as these people do, well then why doesn't he quit then? Easy as that.
Because he makes money. Anyways, here's the point. Your dad, from what you've clarified, that he's like a manager and he's actually hands-on. I would say that your dad has a very important job, but I would say that his job is just as important as all the workers that work there. So there's no reason in which why your dad should be making more than those workers, especially when those workers are way more hands-on physically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I would say on that point. And I would say that your dad's position isn't comparable to a CEO or a boss, especially if your dad's like super hands-on and actually like does things, right? CEOs typically and bosses, they do things, but they're not as hands-on, and they usually just are more chillaxed because that's their job. They usually have supervisors or other people below them in which they hire to make a lot of decisions or to supervise people below them.
Right.
It would seem like your dad is probably more so one of those supervisors that was hired. So seems like we're good on the first point. On your second point, you said ordinary people can become rich.
Well, I mean, we don't agree, but yeah, I mean, I guess.
You just say that you would agree that your dad's work is just as important as the other people's work there?
Yeah, but I didn't say that justifies him earning less.
Why would that not? You just wait. So their both work is equitable, but they shouldn't make the same. Why not?
No.
How not? How?
They are just as important as the CEO or as the workers or as whoever, right? But it does not mean that they're working the same amount, doing the same.
You just said earlier that they work more physically.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying right now, that they don't do the same job that he does, right?
But you said they're of equitable importance.
Well, look, I wouldn't really say that that I need to think about this for a little bit. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to rephrase this whole thing. So, I believe that the worker has a very important position, right? He does a certain job, and then he gets rewarded with the amount of, money that he worked for. And then my dad, since he does more work, in a sense that it is not, physical work or anything like that. And he also is smarter than all these people. That's why they're not really in these positions. But because most of the people that work in these low levels don't even have a diploma, whereas my dad has two. So so that's also one of the factors that we have to consider.
I have a question. And, may I butt in real quick?
Yeah.
Would your dad, to clarify, 2 diplomas, have a job if it weren't for those workers?
Sorry, what?
Would your dad, to clarify, who has 2 diplomas, have a job without those workers?
No.
Okay. So, why should he make more money than them when we've established that both of their jobs, quote unquote, or both sides of it, rely on each other in order to be there in the first place?
Right. There's a pretty easy answer for that. Well,
I haven't gotten it so far, so.
They are doing, or they're not doing, the same exact job.
Okay, why does that matter when you've already said that these people are doing more physical labor than the labor that you're doing?
Physical labor has nothing to do with any other labor. Okay, that's not how it works. I mean, I could, sit out the sun and pack bricks. I mean, what does that do for the economy? That does nothing, right? I'm gonna build a house.
I mean,
Wow,
that's not a
amazing.
job,
And
but
what the heck am I working, right? If I'm a bricklayer, what the heck am I doing? I'm just
well,
stacking bricks
wait,
on each other.
why does a manager matter if there's no physical labor? A manager is supposed to sort like the physical labor and what the physical laborers are supposed to do. If there's no physical labor, then the manager isn't even necessary in the first place.
Wait, I didn't say that they're. Wait, what are you saying? So what?
Managers, like the whole point of their job, are to manage what the physical laborers are supposed to do, essentially.
Yeah, sort of.
Right. So if there's no physical
I mean, that's
labor,
not
then
their only thing that they do. I mean, they do a lot of paperwork, but yeah,
right,
yeah. So
but the paperwork wouldn't be necessary if there wasn't the physical laborers there in the first place, because then you wouldn't
yeah,
have a
then that
job.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, it is
Okay.
true.
So can you tell me again why your dad should be making more money than these people? Because I'm not getting it.
Um, because they are not doing the same exact job. Now, once again, you might say to this again that they're both equally important, and these laborers are doing as important of a job than or as my dad does, but um that's that's not true. And the reason for that is because if there wouldn't be any manager who could manage these workers, then the workers wouldn't do anything because they couldn't have or they couldn't listen to orders from above, right? And managers have to follow their managers, and their managers have to follow, and this goes on in the hierarchy.
I mean, yeah, I
Um
already said managers, like, sure, they're important, right? But just
yeah,
because they're
yeah.
important, just because they're an integral part of the process, doesn't mean that the workers aren't. And since they're both integral parts of the process, there's no reason in which why one should be making more than the other. Right? Just saying that, like, this one's integral doesn't take out my argument, because that's literally what my argument is. That both are integral.
Mhm.
Right? They're both just as important as each other.
Well, I mean, you are right there, but I don't think that I still don't quite understand the argument that just because he's the manager and he's doing an important job that he should be earning the same amount that workers are doing, because then he wouldn't feel like that he's rewarded with the amount of work that he's doing.
I
Right? That's
mean,
basically that's basically what I'm trying.
as long as they do the
Well, but
same
they're
amount
not
as
doing the
work,
same amount of work.
why
That's my
not?
point. They're not doing the same
You
amount of
literally,
work. Okay.
how are they not? How does the manager do more work than the workers? The workers who are
Let me
hand
tell you.
drawn the
Let me
entire
tell
day.
you.
Okay, tell me.
Let me tell you, because they give the orders. As I've said,
Wait,
in
giving the
in
orders isn't doing more work. That's telling people to go do more work.
let me tell you, okay? Let me finish my point. As I've said, before my dad came to that company, okay, it was in shambles, and guess what? He fixed it. So, could the workers do that by themselves? Could they do that by themselves?
No, I've already gone
No.
over. I said that manager is necessary. Could your dad, a manager, have done that by himself?
Yeah.
What? How? No, no, he could not. You have to have physical laborers in order for. If there was no physical
Oh, no,
laborers,
no,
your
no,
dad
no,
would
no,
be
no.
one-handed.
No, no. I thought you meant the manager job. Yeah, no, no. I agree there that my dad couldn't do the physical work that these people are doing. Um, in the bottom part of the hierarchy, um, in that particular workplace. But here's the thing: the workers couldn't do the same amount or the same job that the manager does, and the manager does more important things than the actual workers, because they or the managers are the ones who um, sort of watch over them.
So the managers are more important because they tell the workers what to do.
Well, I mean, that's kind of lame. No,
That's basically
that
what you're
doesn't.
saying.
No. That's, I mean, I wouldn't say that they're more. Wait, what did I say? More important?
Well, deserve more of a wage, I suppose. Same difference.
Well, look, they don't. I think they do. It's kind of a an interesting proposition that who should be earning more and who should be earning less. But here's the thing: I think that these managers are doing more for the company than these workers who are doing the, I guess, the manufacturing products or whatever, um, stacking I don't know, dominoes or something, if maybe it's a domino making company or whatever. But the manager pays or watches over these people, right? The
Yeah,
manager
sure,
watches over all these people. He manages whatever things that he's managing. Um, but
sure.
but yeah, I mean they're as important as the manager, but that does not
Okay.
mean that they should be paid the same amount of money
Okay. So I get
as
this. I get what you're saying. So they're both equally important. However, one
yes.
arbitrarily should be decided to be paid more because I say so. Yes, I got you.
No, not because I say so. That's
Well, that's
because
basically what you said.
they're watching over more people. I mean, one, a regular or in the workers in the lower part of the hierarchy are not doing um or not watching over 130 people, right? That's the whole difference, and that's why these people get paid more rather than these workers. And guess what? These workers, what they could do is go to another job if they don't like it, or maybe study more to get into a higher position. That's what they would do here in Hungary, because they do have that equality of opportunity, as I've mentioned before. So this is my point, right? These workers are not unhappy, right? If they want to work at another company, they could just work at another company.
Oh
If they
yeah,
don't
for
like
sure.
it, leave, right?
True.
That's the solution.
Damn
That's all
right.
you could do, right?
Yes, damn right.
And if my dad doesn't like and if my dad doesn't like the work he's doing, he could leave, and that's what he's done,
Well, I mean,
right? I mean, not in this company. I mean,
I'd
he's worked
probably
for
like, I'd probably like doing the job your dad does, like getting paid more than what the workers are, even though we are equally as important. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah, I mean they're equally important, but they're not doing the same job. So, but anyway, I think we can move on from this point, because I don't think that we're gonna come to consensus ever in here.
Yeah,
So
so I think the next point I have from you is you said that
this was kind of a
some
long one. Yeah.
yeah, something that you said about you still have extremely dumb people being homeless, and that if you gave your money to them, they'd probably drink away your money.
No, that's not probably. That's what they're doing.
Okay.
I've
Yes.
experienced this.
Yes. True.
So
All
that's
right.
not a probability. That
Yeah.
is a fact.
Yes,
Okay.
for sure. Yes, and
Just to put
indubitably.
that out. And by the way, there are good homeless people. Don't
So
get me
wait.
wrong.
I just have wait. Hold on. Just to cut you off, I have a question. You said that you leaned more on the side of libertarianism, right?
Well, yes.
So why
In
the hell
some
do you give a
topics,
fuck what
yes.
these homeless people are doing with this money?
Well, I don't. No, I didn't say I don't care. I'm just saying that that's what they're doing.
Yeah,
I'm
but
not saying
you
that
call them like dumb for it, and
that
that they
they should
shouldn't
be
do it.
regulated. I'm literally saying that this is what's happening, and that's why they're not going to be successful. It's
What the
because
fuck?
they're not.
Wait.
They
What
don't
the?
want to do anything for that,
What the fuck are
for
they supposed to do
themselves.
with like the $5 you gave them?
Well, definitely not drink it away.
What else
That's
are
for
they gonna
sure.
use it for? What the fuck could they use it for?
Maybe buy food. Look,
Well, that's
there's
not
good
much of an
homeless.
investment either. Is that gonna make them rich or something? How are they gonna stop being homeless because they bought a fucking hot dog?
Well, it's not going to make them starve, at least.
Okay, but that doesn't answer the
But they
question.
don't want to work. They don't want to work. That's the thing. They don't want
They
to
don't
work.
want to work. Are you sure?
Yes, I'm definitely sure about that.
Okay, why? Why don't they want to work?
Well, most of the homeless people that are on the streets, are not on the streets because they couldn't get a job, right? That's not mainly the reason that they're on the streets. The main reason is if you would, for example, walk up to a homeless person and ask them, um, what is your qualification, right? What sort of education do you have? They wouldn't they definitely wouldn't say, "Oh yeah, I have a diploma. You know, I'd fuck the system. That's why I'm here because capitalism sucks." No, that's not why they're there. They are there because one, they don't have the education that they could have gotten, right?
They could have gotten it. Okay.
Yeah, they could they could have gotten it.
Yeah. All right.
But there's, for example, one homeless guy in the streets who regularly who'd regularly sell these newspapers, these homeless newspapers. Mm-hmm. And I'd give them I'd give them money for that, maybe like a couple dollars or something. What?
I didn't say anything. Hello?
What? What's happening? Oh shit! I accidentally started the stream. Okay. What?
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Okay. That was very bad. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, so there was a homeless guy in the city, yeah, and I'd give him, like a couple of bucks, and then he'd give me his newspaper and whatever. And guess what? Nice. Now he has a job.
Hey, right? Good on him. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, because he actually wanted to do stuff for himself. But
yeah,
other homeless people who didn't want to do anything for themselves,
they just want to stay homeless. Yeah, for sure.
No, I mean, I didn't say they want to stay homeless. They just don't want to do anything against being homeless. That's what I'm trying to say. So
I'm not.
That's not even in the same universe, right? These two things, right? Not wanting to be homeless and actually doing something to not be homeless is completely different, right? These things are
for sure, yes,
completely different. And one of And this homeless guy actually works for he works for this like city governing thing ish. I don't know exactly how.
Sounds like a
city
job.
Governance or something.
Yeah, sounds like
right, like
job.
picking up litter and stuff. So yeah, but at least he did something for himself, right? He at least he at least did something for himself, and he got out of that bad situation. So good on him. That's exactly what all homeless people should be doing. They should actually be doing stuff instead of just saying, "Oh my God, I'm homeless because of capitalism. Oh Jesus, this is so bad."
Those goddamn fucking leftist homeless people, those goddamn Antifa fascist and homeless goddamn people. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Well, that's not what I'm saying. I don't appreciate you doing or what what's the word?
Straw manning.
I don't know what the word is. Portraying my ideas as something different.
Yeah, straw manning.
That's basically, we could say that.
So
because I definitely did not say that these homeless people are dumb. So
no, I didn't say that. Well, I mean, originally you did say that they are dumb. Not now in this instance.
No. I mean, the people who don't actually want to do anything for themselves, yes, they are dumb.
Okay. So I'm gonna address the first argument that you made about these goddamn lazy homeless people. So
I didn't say that there were goddamn.
Well, you didn't say it. I'm fucking saying it. God, they need to fucking pull themselves up by their goddamn bootstraps. Anyway, so you said that
like you're getting angry.
No, I'm just kidding. So
or just I don't know. Right, anyway, go on.
So you said that they don't have access to education, right?
No, I didn't say that.
You said something
they
about
do
they
have
don't.
access.
You said okay. You said they don't have education, but they have access to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And you know,
So
they've most likely actually did go to school. They just, you know, dropped out or didn't really care or whatnot. So yeah.
okay. So first, so how do you have access to education if, let's say, that your mother and father were homeless and you were born into that family? How do you have access to
Well, then they're
education?
stupid. Not the child that was born. The parents that are raising them up had sex and they decided it would be a good
Dude,
idea
that's
to raise children in homeless
first of all, don't say that word.
in a
That's
homeless environment.
disgusting. Sex, you. Second of all, why don't they have a right to have a kid like every other like
They do have a
family
right. I just find it
people?
dumb.
Okay. I
I
mean,
don't. I
sure, it might not be the
personally would
most
not do that
financially.
if I were homeless.
Okay,
But I mean, you know, they could do whatever the fuck they want.
sure.
But still, they would have access to education because in this country, you could go to school free. So
Right,
they
wait. So
actually
wouldn't that be
do
why would
have-
that not be an argument? How is that an argument? That's an argument against free market education. That's an argument literally for public education. You are arguing for public education right now. You were saying that they need that access,
Yeah,
and they're able
that's
to
a
get
good
that
thing.
access via
Yeah, but
public
when did I
education.
say that was a bad thing? I never said that was a bad thing. That's a pretty good thing, and I
Okay,
do
so then
agree
you're
with that. And
confusing because you said that earlier. You were arguing about how the free market provides this. That's not the free market.
no, I said that in the U.S. that's what in the U.S. you have a free market. Here you don't have that, right? I mean, of course you do have a free market, but not in the sense of education, right? So,
Okay. No.
so that's not what I said. I mean,
So
you
so
might
you
have
think
misinterpreted me.
so you think that homeless people should have like you think that education should be public, right? All forms, including college, right?
Okay. Look, college. I don't. Well, I mean, okay, that's kind of complicated.
Well, I mean, if you're saying that there shouldn't be public education for college, then you're conceding the fact that these people don't have equal access to education because then they wouldn't be able to afford it.
They actually
Like
would
free.
be able to afford it because
But they
with
wouldn't. They're
the
homeless.
degree. I mean, it's not really a degree, but with the qualification of high school, which is
That doesn't get rid of
up
all the
to the
cost of courses.
20th. What?
That doesn't get rid of all the
No, I mean,
the tuition and the cost for courses and the cost for like books.
first of all, books are free
No.
here, but that whole
Okay.
that whole social program actually failed. That because you know, kids are drawing dicks in books, which is not a good thing, and other kids
that's
who are
just funny.
coming to school are actually or have to learn off these dick books as we call them here. And it's completely hilarious. This whole social program failed completely. Now, the education system also failed because the education system is actually horrible. Not that you can't learn, just that the tools that you're learning with are basically out of date. The education system is also out of date. So it's not that good, and this is exactly why I'm saying that the free market would provide these things. Now that would mean that obviously poor people would not have access to that education, and then I think the solution to that would be to create these these public schools, but also have private schools for people who actually will pay for these schools.
You don't recognize that would create like a disparity, like between the people who went to like the free education and the people who go to private education? Because obviously the private education.
We have that here, and that does not cause anything.
Well, you're probably just wrong because it literally it would when there's like a place in which people have to pay more money to get into. The quality is obviously going to be much better. Which would
my uncle Wait, is that called an uncle? I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to translate this.
Probably.
Yeah.
Also, like getting back to like your point on like people who are homeless, you realize that most like homeless people are like they have disabilities or they have like mental illness in which they're not able to work or go to school. like your open animosity towards them is like kind of disgusting, because they're literally not in like a condition in which they're able to do these things that you're saying they have access to.
Wait, hold on. I don't even know the word in Hungarian now. What is it called?
You can just say your uncle. It really, like, it has little relevance on the conversation.
Wait, hold on. Let me translate it. Uncle. No, that's not even it. Okay, well then I'm just gonna say who it is. So my dad's brother's kids. How do you call that?
Your cousins.
Yes, there we go. Cousins. Okay, that was the word I was looking for. Okay. Yeah, so my cousins actually go to a private school. Mm-hmm. And there is no, disparity between us, not at all. I mean, they sort of learn the same things that we do, just that they learn it in a more, modern way, I suppose. But yeah, I mean, there isn't a lot of disparity at all. I haven't really noticed this between.
Okay, well, that's anecdotal. We're talking about overall.
Like, yeah, I mean, overall could be, but I mean, I honestly just don't think that. I mean, everybody wants to get into a private school. They just don't have the economic background to do that.
Right. Because that's probably a bad thing, huh? Like, why wouldn't?
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, no, because this is financial Darwinism. Okay,
financial Darwinism.
Yeah, financial Darwinism.
Oh shit! Survival of the fittest. God damn.
That I don't know if you know what that means.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
survival of the fittest, baby.
The people who do, I don't quite know how to phrase this, but like the people who want to become successful will become successful, and the people who want to be successful but don't do anything for that won't become successful. That's kind of basically what I'm trying to say. Now, and then the other thing is
that how that works, dude.
Sorry, what?
I'm just like, that's not how that works. Just because you want to do something, you want to be something, doesn't mean that you will become that, or it's like, get that. Especially when the playing field is disproportionately in other people's favors, right? And you're like starting out way lower compared to other people. You
can't get out of poverty, as I said.
Everything is possible. Yes, who cares? It's not likely though.
I have.
We've gone over this.
I know people personally that did get out of poverty.
Shit, and I know people personally who haven't. So like that's not an argument.
Well, then they're dumb. They're not doing.
Shit, goddamn, you're goddamn right. They're fucking head asses, dude. They're fucking dumb, dude. Just because they couldn't get out of poverty.
Yeah, they are, or at least in my opinion.
Wait, if they're dumb,
I mean, obviously, they could be smart. But I think that's actually the fault of the education system, because the education system does not teach economic knowledge at all, especially in the US.
It's too busy like trying to suit people up to be workers.
US does not know anything about economics, as I've seen. But not here either. Like I literally go on Facebook, because everybody in this country is on Facebook. They don't have Twitter. And the people are so ridiculously uneducated about economics that it's painful to see, right?
It's because
they basically they just basically blame the system, instead of actually saying, oh, hey, this is not the system, this is actually their stupidity, and they're not seeing that.
Hold on, right? Let me clarify. This problem that you're pointing out specifically is part of the system. The whole point of every education, every step of it, is to tool you into being a worker. What you're pointing out as a problem right now is the system. It is an integral part of the system, and how school is just used in order to like tool people into be like have like the basic skill sets of like your average worker. Like, listen to your teacher. Same thing as listening to your boss. You gotta meet like certain time or time deadlines.
Yeah, and that's not a good education system. That's not a good
Right. So
education
what you're
system.
pointing out is a problem with the system. You're literally talking, and you were just talking about how people are stupid because they just point at the
That
system
has
and say
nothing
it's
to
their
do with
fault.
capitalism. That has to do,
That's
but that
literally it.
has nothing to do with
That is
capitalism.
integral to like the production logic inherent to capitalism. To try and school
That
people
has
into
nothing to
being
do with
yes,
capitalism.
it
That
is.
has,
You're trying to make your fucking students the most profitable, the most like you're trying to manifest them into like a profitable worker.
interestingly, Finland has done the opposite. Now they have the best education system. So
Done the opposite, such like what do you
and
mean?
they have capitalism. So I don't understand how
Done
these
the
two
opposite, such
things
as what?
interact. But
Done the opposite, such as what?
opposite what?
You
What
just said that.
opposite?
Like I'm asking you like what they do.
They eliminated homework. They modernized the education system. They're in school for less amount of time. And actually, I've spoken to
That
a Finnish
doesn't.
guy or a Finnish student who literally wanted to go back to school in summer. Like he didn't want to have because he just wanted to learn and learn and learn. And unfortunately, in the current education system, not the system, the education system doesn't really provide that, which is very unfortunate. Although things have been done to try to balance this. For example, they introduced economic basics from 10th grade in our country, which I think is a pretty good thing. But I don't think that that's going to solve anything because these people that are learning these financial stuff just don't care at all. And this is what I see on all my classmates is that they just don't care. And whenever, we write the test, they just forget immediately. So that's, the other thing as to not being successful or in the ways or in the development phase of, oh, hey, well, if you don't know your finances, then well, that's pretty bad. And you're most likely not really going to make it into a good position.
Right.
Now,
Do you see how that's still like the logic? Like that's still like a manifestation of capitalism, right? Like if you don't adopt these like ideal worker traits, you are going to fail, right? You're not going to make it. Do you not see that? Do you like,
yeah, of course I see that, but that's basically what these people are playing for, I guess,
what do you
so
mean? What do
that
you mean playing?
most of the people that come out of the education system will be ordinary workers, which is basically what what the capitalist education system is trying to do, so that
Yeah.
they will have more ordinary workers than uh, higher people, or
Well,
people who have more authority
well,
over
no,
people.
it's not.
But socialism does not achieve that, unfortunately, as we have seen that in the past. That it's basically made everybody poor equally. So yeah,
Okay.
and unlike in America, where you have absolutely no idea what socialism is in practice, because you've actually never ever in your life have been to a socialist country, I'm assuming, or a socialist country like our country,
Your
where
country isn't
basically everybody
socialist,
was
dude.
poor. We No, I said post socialist.
Yeah,
Like, so
I hate to
that
break it to you, but the
we're not
Soviet bloc wasn't socialist.
well, it was socialism and
It
everybody
wasn't.
was poor under
What
it.
do you think socialism is?
And especially we had like we didn't even have you know any um
What do you think socialism
what's
is?
the what
What do you think socialism is?
what do I think socialism? Well, the definition is a political um a political theory which advocates um, that the means of production, distribution, and exchange should be owned or regulated by the community as a whole.
Well, no, that's
That's the
communism.
that's
So
the
socialism like is just the workers on the means of production. So that's the most basic definition. It varies depending on the theory. But that's basically what it
No,
boils down to.
communism is advocating basically.
Also, it's just economic. It has nothing to do with politics. Like, it has nothing to do with the form of governance. It's just saying that the means of production are owned
I mean,
by the workers.
you can look up the definition of socialism, and that's what you'll find. Or, I mean, are you
Or
saying
you could
that the
read any
definition is
book.
wrong? I mean, if you type in socialism, I've basically read out the definition of socialism. So.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So I don't know why you're saying that's communism.
Wrong.
I don't know.
Well, you said, yeah, no, that is communism. You talked about the community as a whole, right? I mean, we're getting into nuances, but if you...
It says a political and economic theory of social organization
it's wrong.
Advocates that... So you're saying that the definition is wrong?
I am saying the definition that you read is wrong. Correct.
Oh, so Google is wrong.
Yes. The Google definition that you looked at, yeah.
Yeah. Well, let me maybe I can find a better, definition of.
You might have to actually open a book for that one, though. You might not want to.
Yeah, I mean, I have some Karl Marx book in here.
All right, look it up. See where he. I think it's page 20 where he defines socialism.
Hold on. It is basically like a propaganda book, for all I can tell.
No, yeah.
I mean, they were fed, the people under socialism.
Yeah, under Marx.
Under the Soviet pressure, they were all fed this propaganda bullshit.
Yeah, I saw Marx.
Yeah. Anyway,
handing them out himself.
Anyway. So the people. And the thing is that capitalism is a free market economy, right? Can we agree on that? Free market economy, right? No, that's the definition. I don't care what system you have. It might not be capitalism. It might be faulty capitalism or corporate.
Well, there's several. Okay. There's several different forms of capitalism. Because yeah, sure, we'll say generalize. Generally,
because capitalism is a free market economy, and under that economy, the rich get richer and the poor get richer as well. Now, under socialism, under socialism, the poor get poorer and the rich get also poorer. So that's not a good thing. Now, hold on.
Faulty
capitalism,
wait, I got a question.
Whenever you want to define, the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That is basically the system that you have in the U.S., which is not so. So great.
Dude, I got a question. So, for your definition of communism or socialism, whatever you said, the rich get poorer and the poor get poorer. Where does the richest money go? I guess I'm just confused on that part.
No, I mean the rich. The
rich get up and leave?
Don't really go anywhere because the rich are not even. The rich are not providing value. Right, these CEOs are employing thousands of people that they pay for. Right.
Oh, okay. So,
and if you don't have that, then you're not really gonna have rich people. And then also you're not gonna have workers because then that would mean that you do not have a free market economy. Then that would mean that something which is outside the control of the company. That is controlling the company's system, which means that people, first of all, can't compete with each other because if everybody gets paid the same and everybody does the same job, then people don't have the incentive to actually work for more because they can.
Wait, hold on. I got a question.
And that's what socialism.
Wait. I gotta cut you off right now. So you say that in a socialist society, there's no competition, so people aren't gonna do shit because they don't want to. But what you're saying right now, that's
what happened.
Wait. You're saying that under a capitalist system, that the reason why people don't succeed and the majority of people are poor is because they don't want to do anything. No, hold on. Now I'm just. That's what you've been saying this entire debate.
No, I said that they do want to do stuff, just that they're not doing the stuff that would get them in these higher positions.
Right. So same difference.
That is what I said.
So how does competition solve for this? I'm so confused.
And in theory and in practice is completely different, right? I mean, if I want to say, okay, I want to become rich, well, then what the fuck do I got to do to actually achieve that?
I'm just
well,
confused on the
this
difference.
and this and this, and then I will actually work on these things to become rich. Now, if I say, oh, I want to become rich, done, right? That's you're never ever going to become rich, right? That's not how it works.
So
It's not.
so
This
the
is a
difference.
free market economy. You can do whatever the fuck you want, right? And especially if you're in America, right? I think that America is the most capitalist country in the entire world, right?
Well,
And
you've never been to fuck, what's that country name? Hold on, let me look it up real quick. Oh
yeah.
shit. What's the ANCAP country? It's like one of the most violent countries on earth. Shit, what's it called? One second, I'm looking it up. I'm gonna find it.
Someone says in chat, and I'm sorry that I'm looking at chat again.
Oh yeah, Somalia. No, they're right.
Someone said, yeah, but Somalia has no government. Communism
yeah, exactly.
is
Anarcho-capitalism, baby.
Towards classless, moneyless, nationless society. Someone said that. Socialism is basically workers seizing the means of production.
Yeah, essentially.
Now, here's the thing: Somalia has no government. That's why they're failing, right? That's the reason. There's no regulating authority.
I'm just saying they're the most capitalist country. Okay, that's the most libertarian capitalist country. Okay, that's
that is true. Yeah, that is true. That is true. That is true. And yeah, it's also true that it is the most violent country. Yeah, that's also true. I think. But it might be something else, right? In Venezuela or something. It might be.
Yeah, dude, with all the fucking coups going on over in Venezuela, it might be Venezuela right now.
I mean, Venezuela completely failed. And that was a socialist economy or socialist country.
Yeah, I remember the workers owning the means of production when I went over there.
Yeah. But
I don't think it had any, like, their failing probably didn't have anything to do with the U.S. coup or U.S. sanctions either. I think that it was probably natural or something. I don't know.
No, I mean the reason why they failed is that they gave out so many social programs because they were getting richer and richer because of the oil there.
Oh,
and
shit, that's why?
As you know, oil prices were rising before 2008 when the financial crisis happened. And everybody was, doing well in Venezuela. The economic indicators were doing well. GDP was growing.
Yeah.
Until the crash came, because the economy was pegged to oil by about 80% or something like that. And because of all these social programs, they basically couldn't really now pay for these social programs, and they also were piled up in debt by the IMF, for example.
Oh yeah, shit, the IMF. Fuck yeah, dude, that shit's ass.
And
you know what's ironic about you bringing up the IMF is that the IMF is used by the US and other Western nations to make other countries, they request for loans, right? But they have to agree to certain things. They have to privatize certain businesses or certain industries in order for them to get the loan, so that the US and other Western countries can benefit off of it, so they can. It's like neoliberal globalization, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically the same thing that happened.
That's free markets, baby.
In Hungary in 2006, where the president, it was actually a leftist president, but it doesn't really matter what it is. I mean, I don't really care. Could have been done under rightist government, so it's not like that. It matters. But I'm just saying. And it was under the Hungarian Socialist Party, or that's the name of the party, but it's not really a socialist party. It's more of a democratic socialist party, if you know what I mean. So it's not really a socialist party at all. but that's the name of it anyways, and that's
You mean
what they've done. The unemployment numbers were rising. The IMF, I mean, they basically sold our railways.
Yeah, no, that's what the IMF
Railway
does.
system.
Literally, that's what they make you privatize your industries in order to get a loan from them, which is going to already entrench you in debt. But you're also going to be even more in debt.
And our rightist government right now has actually flipped that over and reduced government debt. And now we're actually doing better. But I wouldn't really say that has anything to do with the current government. It might have something to do with that. I think that has a lot more to do with the system and the.
Wait, you realize that's an indict on free markets, though? That's free markets, baby. That's globalized. That's globalized free markets. You are indicting free markets because you said that when the IMF came over and made you privatize certain industries in order for them to be able to trade and do trade internationally, right? That's neoliberalism, baby. You're critiquing free markets right now.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
I'm not doing. Well, I mean, okay. What how should I ask the question? Well, what part did I say anything like that would make you say that?
You said that made your country go in debt, and that when your right wing government overtook it, they undid that, and then you were no longer in debt.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Yeah,
but that has nothing to. I mean, once again, but I didn't finish my thought there. That I wanted.
So wait,
to
the
say
debt
that,
is good.
That might not have. A lot to do with the rightist government. I think that has a lot more to do with the system, because if you look at all the other surrounding countries, especially the eastern bloc of the EU, then you can see that almost in every single country, GDP to debt ratio was the same and actually getting lower. So I don't think that has anything to do with the rightist government at all. I think that's basically just the system and the EU and whatever the global position or whatever. But what I'm saying is that the leftist government did these privatizations, which nobody liked,
Exactly. I don't know who did it, but I'm just saying that's bad, and I don't know how they're leftist though, because that's literally neoliberalism, baby. That's literally that's an expansion of free market. So I don't know how.
And then they admitted that they lied, and the entire country hated them, and
doesn't surprise me.
The rightist government won with an insane majority of 66% in the parliament, which was actually the biggest win in the history of our country. That one party won that many seats, but that's once again. I'm not saying that. The leftist government came here. The leftist government fucked up everything, and then came the rightist government, and now everything is good. No, that's not really what I'm saying. I'm just saying that under the governance of these leftist retards, I should say.
Well,
they basically.
Whoa! No endorsement of your ableist rhetoric right here. So
what?
I'm gonna have to ask you to refrain.
I'm sorry if I offended you. Can I also say faggot? Is that fine if I say that, or am I offending my own types? Excuse me.
I would prefer if you refrain from using so many derogatory tones, because even if you are part of those groups, they can still be offensive to people who may be watching. You may continue.
Right, well, that is true. Yeah, that is true. Well, look, I don't care about these people's feelings, right?
Well, that's not very nice, and that probably says a lot about you.
I know. Yeah, I'm quite of an egotistical person, which is not really a nice thing. But yeah. Anyway, let's why is my chair so what's it called?
Squeaky.
What is? Yeah, squeaky. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, probably gonna have to oil it, which I'm gonna buy at the store, which is provided under capitalism. So,
Dude, you're right. The fucking all the oil would be gone under fucking socialism. God damn it. I think the capitalist countries would probably form a coup to come and take it or something.
Yeah, I mean there would be, I mean there wouldn't be as much oil as there is right now. There would be definitely a whole lot less under
Damn
socialism,
right.
as we have
That
seen
shit would
historically.
evaporate or something. That should be like, fuck this shit. I'm
No,
out.
I mean it wouldn't really evaporate, but I think that
I think it might though. I think it might.
I think the supply would get genetically. Whoa, okay.
No, I agree. I think like genetically it would be like, fuck this shit. I'm out. This shit's fucking communism.
No.
Dude, stop capping.
I didn't want to. I didn't want to say genetically. I wanted to say generally.
Oh no, I was agreeing.
The supply would definitely get less, as we have seen historically in this country. That I mean, you wouldn't be able to buy oranges. You wouldn't be able to buy.
Oh damn right. God, the oranges hate fucking socialism.
Any what's it called?
Fucking bananas too.
Chicken.
Say goodbye.
Pork,
yeah, say goodbye to that shit.
Chicken, pork, all these things. I mean, you wouldn't really were able to buy.
You could buy bread. You could get bread though. Dude, like fucking baguettes, like baguettes, dude. Those things are fucking fire. Oh my god.
I mean, you couldn't get baguettes. You could just get like.
No, you could get stop. You can get baguettes.
Bread,
dude. Stop.
No.
You can get baguettes. Yes, you can.
Not right now. I mean, right now, of course you can, but
no, not right now. Not right now. No.
You weren't able to. You weren't able to buy baguettes before.
Are you telling me if I go over to Venezuela right now, I can't buy a baguette?
Where are you gonna? What?
Like, if I go over to like the communist utopia of Venezuela, do you think I could buy maybe purchase a baguette?
Well, yeah, of course, you would be able to purchase a baguette. Yeah, sure.
If I wasn't gonna be able to, I was gonna.
But mostly from the people who are actually self-sufficient and are providing services for people, which is once again free market and.
True. So Venezuela, I can buy a baguette because they're not communist. I can.
Yeah. The people that are selling these services and goods are selling it on the free market, right? Which is not intervened by the government. But if you were under socialism, then if you would walk in the store, you wouldn't be able to buy a baguette, which is
true. Dude, I'd see they'd literally like I'd see the baguette aisle and they'd be like, dude, are you living under a socialist economic structure? And then when I say yes, they're gonna escort me out.
That's what happened historically in our country.
Yeah, for real. They just like these stores were like, it's fuck empty, another commie. We gotta turn them away. No baguette.
Yeah, I mean, people are very unhappy under socialism. Yes, that is true.
Why. Wait, but we went over this earlier. Can you tell me whether or not the Soviet bloc or whatever it was called, whether it fit the true definition of socialism or no?
No, it definitely was not a socialist state as Karl Marx and
as Carlson Marx.
Said, or defined, but I think it fell between like maybe communism and socialism, and it might have involved some sort of spots of capitalism, but it's really like we can't just say that it was 100% socialist or that we are right now 100% capitalist, because especially in this country it's not true at all. I mean, we have universal healthcare, right, which is also a social.
Dude, what the fuck is that? Socialism?
Social thing. No, that's not socialism. That's a social program.
Okay. I thought that might have been socialism, and I was about to freak out. I was about to be like, so no baguettes?
No. I mean, providing healthcare for everybody, that's just a social thing, but it's not. It's not. Socialist.
As long as.
But it's not working, right? I mean, hospitals are.
No, it's not working.
Collapsing and stuff. So it's not working at all.
Yeah, like hospitals in like Yemen that are like collapsing from like because they're like social programs and they're not being like bombed from like the U.S. or like Saudi Arabia. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
What are you saying?
Nothing. Is Carlson Marx? Did he invent that or?
I honestly don't understand what you're saying right now because I'm just trying to provide examples from my country, and that's what I'm saying, that we have um healthcare for everybody, or Medicare for all, or how, I don't know how exactly you would define this, but it's definitely not working. If you search for Hungarian hospitals, then you will be able to see how it actually looks and what you get for like breakfast and all
Oh
these
shit, dude!
stuff.
Are they
So
giving? What are they giving? Wait, hold on. What are they giving for breakfast?
like a piece of bread
Dude,
with
what the
like
fuck?
margarine on it, and
Oh
that's
my
it.
god, dude!
Whereas, for example, in
Fucking,
other countries that are not that don't have these social
they get a whole
or
ass
don't
buffet.
have
They get a whole ass fucking buffet.
no, but I mean they have a menu sort of, right? So I mean
Yeah, that's the point of a
my
hospital, though. It's like you gotta fucking order what you want, and then you gotta tip your waiter. Obviously, it's like yeah, fucking cash.
yes, no,
Wait, what?
no, they're given it like a menu, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
like
No. I
they
know. I
give you
know
a
what you
menu,
mean.
and
Like
then
it's
you can
like,
order from there.
and you get to choose your table. You get to sit down, and then you gotta
No, no,
tip
no,
your
no, no,
waiter when
no.
you're waiter, and when you're wait, you gotta ask for them to refill your water cups. Ah, man.
I mean,
No, I get what you're
if
saying.
you're that sick, if you're that sick, then yeah. But these social programs definitely have failed, especially in our country
Yeah.
where hospitals are definitely not in good shape. I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen U.S. hospitals and they're in pretty good shape. I mean, I
Oh
haven't
shit,
really
yeah.
seen.
If you can get, yeah, if you have the insurance to be able to like afford all the costs, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, this is the problem with Medicare for all, or however you want to say it. Do you know the tax that we have to pay in
Oh
order
yeah,
to?
no. Trust me, yeah, I get it. Like
Do you know the
you
percentage? Do you know the percentage of how much we have to actually pay
quite frankly, I cannot quantify it.
to fund these shitty hospitals?
Oh, I was
Do you
just
know how
gonna
much is
say,
that?
I was just saying, I am unable to quantify the percentage. Okay.
It's 12.5%,
Oh my
and we still have these
goodness!
shitty
Holy
hospitals,
shit!
right?
What the fuck, dude? That's fucked. Um. Yeah, no, that's yeah. So that's the obviously like that's way more than the premium that you currently have to pay, the thousands and thousands of dollars that you have to pay to your insurance company, and just like compared to the taxes in which you would have to pay
Yeah, but
to
what
compensate
I'm
for a
saying is
Medicare for all
that
system.
it has not worked, just because like all these things
No, and
are
I'm agreeing for
these.
you. Like they're not giving you like they're only giving you fucking bread for breakfast, dude. What the hell? What's a hospital meant? Like what's a hospital meant for?
Okay. Anyways, this is so what's the next thing
Oh,
that we were
we're
saying?
done with that? We don't want to. Okay. Well, shit.
No, I mean, because we're not getting to consensus. I mean, I don't know. I guess you're just trying to parody me or
No,
something, or
no. I'm not parroting. No, dude.
no, but I mean that's what I feel like. So
Well,
I
okay.
don't
I'm
quite
sorry. I'm
I don't
sorry if you
quite
feel
like
like
that.
that.
So I think we should just move on
Yeah.
because
Then. Okay.
we're honestly not getting
I understand. I
anywhere.
understand. So the next thing that we could talk about is probably you said something about like poor people would stay poor because like something about background deterministic and like it's in their genetics or something earlier. Can you elaborate on
Yes.
that? Like, what do you mean about in their
It
genetics?
might. Yes. Okay. So basically, um, I think that it might have something to do with with genetics, because I kind of do believe in poor genetics, if you know what I mean.
No, I
But
don't get what. Yeah,
I
I
think
actually don't know
that
what
has
you
a lot
mean.
more to
I
do
don't know what you mean.
with the actual environment that they grow up in, instead of genes. I think that it's definitely the environment that's deterministic of the future of a child.
Wait.
Um,
I'm actually confused. What you mean about the poor genetics? Can you like elaborate? I'm very confused.
Once again, I've said that I kind of believe in them. I kind of believe in these poor genetics, which would like not actually in your DNA, but like what I'm saying is that
Oh, okay.
once you like see
Oh,
see
so
your mother and your father
cyclical
being
poverty.
poor, yeah, yeah, like
Okay, yeah,
being
no,
in
I
poverty,
get what you're
then
saying.
you might kind of stick with that, mindset and don't really see the other side, which is like rich people. But mm, yeah, I mean, and also, I've read that more poor people are actually uh playing lottery, and
Oh yeah,
uh
yeah,
and once they win, statistically speaking, these poor people that win the lottery can't do anything with that money. They basically spend it on you know um
yeah.
useless stuff.
No, I've heard
They
about
go
this.
broke, they go
Yeah,
depressed.
no. It's actually been like a
So
big problem with like a lot of poor people like winning the lottery. Fuck words. A lot of poor
yeah,
people
a lot
winning
of
the
yeah,
lottery and then like just like blowing it off on things. Like it happens all the time.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like all the
and
time.
and that's once again that and again that probably has a lot to do with economic education, right?
Yeah, we
Because
should
these
probably
people
make it
are
more
not getting.
accessible. Yeah,
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 yeah, we definitely should, which is what we're doing here in Hungary, but
yeah.
that's not
Oh,
really
right,
changing the
with free public
situation. So
education.
yeah, free public education, yes.
That's that's going against free markets. I might have to tell Papa Adam Smith on you.
That is going against free markets.
That's good. That's good.
And what
I'm
are you
just saying.
gonna
I'm
do
just
with
saying.
that?
I'm just saying. So back to like this. So you don't think like there's like a poor gene, do you? Like there's like a gene in which like
I said that there is no such thing as a gene. I said that
okay,
it's determined um environmentally, right? So like if your parents are poor, then you're most likely going to be poor as
okay.
well,
I was just
because
confused by the word genetics. Then okay, I thought
yeah,
that you
like
meant
I don't mean that literally. I kind of mean that metaphorically.
yeah,
So
yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So just yeah, um, yeah. All right.
Yep. So
I mean, I
is
don't
that
think we
an answer to
disagree.
your
Yeah,
question,
yeah. I
or
don't think we disagree on that front. That like, there's systemic, or there's cyclical poverty in which we need to address by getting rid of the free market in certain instances and replacing it with social programs.
yeah? But once again, these social programs might not work
I
as
mean, but
well as
we
we can
can.
see in our country. So this is why I'm saying that a free market actually might be a little bit better. But that's because I'm not like I don't believe that 100% capitalism is good in any way. I think that you definitely got to have some
Okay,
social
okay, okay.
programs,
Like, but we can
because
agree. We
because
can
if you're that
a 97.3
libertarian
percent, a
capitalism,
97.3
I don't
percent
think that you're gonna
capitalism.
get anywhere, right? So,
Yeah, but
but yeah,
we can both agree not on 100% capitalism, not on 99.9% capitalism, not on 99.8% capitalism, not on 99.7% capitalism, not on 99.6% capitalism, and not on 99.5% capitalism, nor 99.4% capitalism, nor 99.3% capitalism, not even a 99.2% capitalism, and don't I even dare a 99.1% capitalism. And no, of course not a 99% capitalism, but a 98.9% capitalism we can both agree on. That is the proper quantification of how much capitalism we would like in our economic structure.
I don't think you can determine that by percentages. But I
Wait, you
mean,
just did? What the hell?
like, I mean, we could say maybe like I would say like 80 to 20, and like 80% being fully free market capitalism, and then the other 20 being like kind of social programs,
I
and
agree.
all these different things that that provide for the poor. But I definitely don't agree with the fact that every single worker should be paid the same amount, because I don't agree with that. They're doing the same amount of or the same type of job, I should say, and also the same amount
Well,
of
why does it
job
matter if they're doing the same type
that
of
are.
job?
Hmm?
What
What?
is it? Why does it matter if they're doing the same type of job if the jobs are equally important?
Um.
I swear to God, you better not be opening up that Karl Marxen book.
So they are equally as important, but they're not doing the same amount of job, and they're not
Same
doing the
amount.
same type of job as well, and that's why
So
we
wait.
have payment or paycheck differences.
Well, that's not why we
salary
have paycheck
differences,
differences. We have paycheck differences because of, like, we think that certain jobs are deemed as more important or deserve higher wage than other jobs, but that's pretty idiotic, in my opinion. However,
well, I
was
think
going to
that, I
ask
think
you
that
something.
there are definitely more important jobs than others. I mean,
Sure,
I don't think that,
sure.
for example, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, I don't think that
I don't disagree. There are more important
domino
jobs.
stacker, for example, as I've mentioned, previously, stacking dominoes in a box. I don't think that has anything to do with the same amount of job as a
Well, here's the thing.
CEO does for that company.
I don't think that's a job.
So
I don't think domino stacking. I don't think domino stacking is probably a job. So you can scratch that off there. However,
it probably is, I think.
Okay, even if it is a job, the domino stackers are just as important as the CEO of domino stacking. Okay, right?
Yeah, but
without the domino stackers, there's no CEO
of domino stacking. Of course, they're equally as important. But
well, then why
but
the fuck do they not
do the same amount of job?
What do you mean by they're not doing the same amount of job? A fucking worker is doing way more fucking work than any CEO out there. They literally have to.
All right. Well, sure. If you think that, then that's fine.
Oh, I think that's fine. Okay, well, even if I don't, let's say that they work the same amount. They do the same amount of hours, same amount of physical labor, whatever. Then do they deserve to be
paid? Then they should be paid the same amount.
Okay.
But that's not what's happening. So.
Okay. Yeah, sure it isn't. Whereas Tim Cook...
Yeah, because obviously, I mean...
Wait, I have a question. Hold on.
The CEO is basically doing the same amount of job.
Wait, dude, hold on. Okay, I have a question. I have a question. Is Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple, has he been doing more work for Apple than workers who have been at Apple for years? Answer me that.
You can't ask that question that way. Okay,
sorry.
That because
you can't answer it in the way that you'd like to.
Does a different sort of job, and it is more important for the company to to pay these workers that are actually working very, very hard.
The CEO is
to manufacture these goods and services. But if you wouldn't have a CEO, and if you would pay the CEO very little and the same amount that all these workers are getting, then trust me, that company would definitely go bankrupt, because
the company would probably
run the company that
way. I mean, you could, because the CEO of like something like Apple has like plenty of supervisors below him in which make all the decisions.
But they wouldn't take that job for that amount of money, trust me.
Oh my god. Here's the thing. They probably would, because there wouldn't be an incentive.
Take a CEO job for like I don't know, like $50,000 a year.
I fucking would, sitting on my ass.
That would definitely not happen.
Sitting on my ass.
But I would definitely take a CEO job for like
I'd take that. I'm just sitting on my ass all day. Oh yeah, fuck. I'd take that for sitting on my ass. Anyways, point is,
you're not sitting on your ass. But I mean, if you think that you're sitting on your ass, then you're majorly wrong about that, because
you got a goddamn point.
I think you should actually try to run a company one day and then see actually what struggles people go through.
Well, there's a difference between running like a small company and running something like Apple. Tim Cook sits on his ass all day. I will tell you that much. Tim Cook sits on his goddamn ass all day.
Where's your evidence that backs this?
I fucking seen the ass sweat on his fucking chair every morning.
Okay, well, show me.
Okay, hold on. I have to.
I
have to decrypt the photo, and then I'll have to send it to you through email. Okay, so you're gonna have to give me. I'll do it tomorrow. Okay.
Sure, whatever.
Okay, that sounds fair.
So I guess this is what I'm saying, that you're just throwing all these, claims that
as are you.
The CEO of Apple does nothing, which is just
about
and sits on his ass, which is not true at all.
Shit, do you know that? Have you been to Apple? Do you know what Tim Cook does every day?
I don't see the statistical in the.
I actually do have stats on this.
Okay, well, show me.
I'll send them to you tomorrow.
Why tomorrow? What, you don't have them right now?
I do not have them right now. I'm going to have to make them in a Google Doc tomorrow, so you're gonna have to give me a little bit of time.
unfortunately, the thing is,
I'm going to have to use Microsoft Paint to manufacture
look,
this evidence.
Look, if you want to send these over, sure. But once we're done with this debate, I don't know how long this is going to take, but once we're done with this debate, I don't want to, continue with this topic anymore because I don't think that it would do much for me. I mean, it's definitely nice to see, other people's
opinions.
Yeah, to sort of see.
It's been fun.
So someone says, insight. And I know I don't know, or I know that you don't like that I'm reading.
No, you can read chat if you want to. I was just saying, like, when people are like, if they're
saying stupid stuff.
Sure, something that you might perceive as stupid.
So someone says CEOs, which is not even the right grammar right here because it's not CEO apostrophe S, it's CEO S without the apostrophe, but that's not the point. CEOs take more time off. LOL.
Hey, can someone ban him?
Donald Trump literally spent most of his time on a reality show for a period of time. Yes, well, and Willick's love. If you think that Donald Trump did that, then why don't you do that and become president and become filthy rich? Do that. If you think that that is true, then do the same thing, and then you'll realize that that's not true.
Well, how do you get on a reality TV show? Also, that literally is true. How did fucking Kim Kardashian and all the Kardashians become famous? Wasn't it literally from a reality TV show?
Doesn't matter. Do the same thing. Do the same thing, and then
shit. How do I get my own reality TV show? I have to. Dude, they were already rich.
Make it.
Then they made a reality TV show. How?
Yeah, and how did they?
How do I get the airtime? You gotta purchase that.
How did they become rich in the first place?
They inherited it. I'm pretty sure. Like their family was already rich, if I do recollect correctly.
Yeah, but why were they rich?
Because they were lucky that their parents were already rich. Because they were lucky that their parents were already rich, and then they inherited that.
Okay, but why were their parents rich? What did they do to become?
I don't know. That's not what the question is.
Sit on their asses, as you say.
That wasn't the question. We were talking about Kim Kardashian and the Kardashians now specifically.
Yeah, I don't care about that. What I'm saying,
well, I care about that.
Okay, well, I don't care. So
I don't care that you don't care. These.
Well, so then what?
Well, so then you're supposed to say that I don't care that you don't care that I don't care. That's what you're supposed to say.
What? I would do the same thing if I was born rich. Okay, but look, Ann Willick's love, please, in the chat, explain how would you or how would your parents become rich in the first place, right? That's the question that you should be asking. Why did these, or why were the father, or why was the father
but that's not
Donald
the thing.
Trump
that's not the
rich
question.
in the first place?
It's not the question.
Ask that question.
But that's not the thing. We don't need to talk about the parents. Why we're talking about the kids of these parents and how they inherited the wealth. Yes, we are. Yes. No, that's where you're wrong. This is literally what we're talking about. We need to talk about that. They literally had to do nothing.
Let's change the topic. Can we change the topic? Can we change it?
Well, the thing is, like, obviously, like, they had the rich gene and not the poor gene, so yes, we can change the topic.
Okay, good. So anyway, why was Donald Trump's father rich? Okay,
quite frankly, I don't know. I haven't put much research into it. Probably doing.
So then I would really appreciate you stop saying that, these people just sit on their asses and make billions of dollars, because that's not what they're doing. You have to actually do something in order to become rich. Either born in a rich family, but that would indicate that your parents did something.
That's not doing anything. Hold on, wait, that's not doing anything.
Yeah, that is absolutely not doing anything. That's basically sitting on your ass.
I thought you just said that you have to do something to be rich.
Because your parents had that capital. But where the heck did your parents get that capital in the first place? That's
quite frankly, I don't really care.
But why don't you care?
Because that person themselves didn't have to do anything.
So what you're saying is that when society or this capitalism sort of formed, people just became rich by sitting on their asses.
And owning like a factory or something, yeah. Yeah, that's basically how it happened.
Right. Okay. And why is that then that some poor people, as you say, lucky, which
Yes.
I disagree with,
Well, you're right.
got out of poverty and made a company that now employs a bunch of people, and now they're actually not
But
only employing people but also earning profit and you know being a CEO of even a small company, maybe like a hair salon or whatever.
They were lucky to
And
overcome systemic what's it called, systemic disadvantages,
yeah,
I
well,
suppose.
I don't believe that they were lucky. I think that they did something in order to achieve that.
Okay, I mean, even if they did, that
Unlike
doesn't mean other people who don't do that shouldn't be able to. And also, they would still be lucky in order to
yeah,
achieve that.
they are able to, because we do have equality of opportunity, especially in America.
For
That's why a
real.
lot of people.
For real, we
Yeah,
do.
that's why a lot of people. I actually know a family member who went to America and quote unquote accomplished the American dream.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that thing.
and he actually sort of escaped the country under the socialist times. I think it was
Oh.
in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he went out to America and he
Yeah.
accomplished the American dream. And
Nice.
yeah, so
Congratulations for
yeah,
him. He is now
yeah,
making money off the backs of exploited workers. I am proud.
yeah, 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 yeah. Probably not, but yeah, and the workers aren't exploited, but yeah,
Well,
sure.
that's how that works. Well, we can talk about that. Do you know that capitalism is inherently built on theft, correct?
No, capitalism is
Why
not
not?
built on theft.
Why not?
You earn according to the amount of work that you put in the system, basically.
Okay, and let me explain why well, that's not, first of all, that's wrong and not how that works. But it's built on theft because workers, right? They put in their labor.
Socialism is built on theft as well, because you're taking money away from the rich.
No,
So
let
that's
me
theft.
explain. Okay, it's not thief.
That
It's
is
not thievery if
yeah,
you're
that is
thieving from the thieves. Now let me explain. It's theft because laborers, right? They must they put in their labor.
That's kind of funny.
Oh God. Holy fuck. Okay, so they put in their labor, right?
Are you getting tilted a little bit or something?
Am I getting tilted, dude? I'm fucking tilted. Oh man.
I don't know, because it seems to me that you're kind of getting more and more pissed off. So I
You're
don't know.
exhausting me. You're just making me exhausted.
I just kind of feel like by saying, "Oh man," all these things, that you're kind of becoming angry. I'm just wondering,
me.
maybe
I'm
you
triggered.
want to stop the debate or something.
No,
because
I'm triggered.
if you don't want to continue, we can stop.
I am triggered, and I would like to continue. Man. Oh, okay. Anyways, it's inherently built on theft because workers, they have to put in their labor, and then there's this right, there's obviously a value to that labor. It's what they make, right? And then there's surplus value to that, in which the owner takes a part of it. That's the surplus value, in which, like, off of the total value that the workers made. Then the owner gives the rest of that remaining value to the worker. That is theft. They are taking some of that value from the worker's labor for themselves. Right? That's theft. Taking that back is not theft.
Taking the money away from the workers.
Yes, I did. I just explained.
Profiting off of regular people that are buying the product, or the services and products that they're producing. That's why they're rich.
Wait, can you repeat what you just said? Can you repeat what you just said? Can you repeat what you just said?
If the workers would be unhappy, which they
calm down. Hold on, calm down.
Then they would just rise up and with like protesting and stuff. But we're not seeing that, which means
I mean, we've seen some
and actually unemployment is very low. It's at 3 point whatever %.
First of all, that's also not how that works, because if it becomes normalized, then people wouldn't fucking protest because they think it's normal. Also, can you explain to me why it's not theft? Because I didn't hear that part.
As I've said, they're not profiting off of the workers. They're profiting off of
the fucking work the workers put in.
Buying the goods and services.
No. They're profiting off of the labor that the workers put in. The price the consumers pay for that worker's labor is how much that labor is worth. If the labor is not attributed, all of that whatever currency that they got, that and the owner takes some of that, that is theft.
So are you saying that? Okay, I want to understand this. So are you saying, and this is a question, so are you saying that if you buy a certain good, for example, let's assume that you're buying Coca-Cola, right? And
Coke kind of gross. Can we say like Dr. Pepper?
Put in that work to actually manufacture that Coca-Cola. So would you then
Dr. Pepper.
take that money away, or not away, like take the money that the people pay for that Coca-Cola to the worker who actually produced that Coca-Cola? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So like the people who put in the work should get the money?
Yeah.
Like the physical work and
the people who put in the work.
Is that what you're saying?
The people who put in the work, yes. They should get the money, yes. For the product in which they make.
Well, that's an interesting theory.
Oh yeah, that's.
It definitely sounds like an ethical theory, but unfortunately, that's not how nature works.
It's not how nature works. I don't know. We go against human nature.
Because
is that a good argument? Because we go against human nature all the
laws,
time.
That say that if let's assume that you're playing Monopoly. I don't know if you've ever played Monopoly. You probably have before. And even in that, there's a sort of a natural system where where some people get rich and some people get poor, and this is exactly the same.
Monopoly is like the best critique of fucking capitalism
as in
there
the current
is.
system. Some people get poor and some people,
do you realize that Monopoly is
actually rise?
Monopoly is like the biggest critique of capitalism there is.
Capitalism is based upon.
No, it's like the biggest critique there is. It's talking about how people get monopolies and they fuck over the other players in the game. They essentially get to create the rules of the game.
Yeah, that is exactly what's happening in our current system. But that's natural. But you do understand that, right?
That's
good? Natural.
Is that good?
No, that's not good. But
okay,
that's
why
natural.
Why is it natural?
Like, I'm not saying that.
Can you explain why is it natural?
That's good in any way.
Is this like a gene or something?
Works.
Can you explain it? Is this like a gene or something?
Certainly, forcing people, which is what socialism is. It's forcing these rich people to essentially work the same amount. Will just basically means that they will become unproductive as hell, because not everybody wants to do the same exact job that other people are doing.
Not everyone has to do the same exact job. That's not how that works. That's a straw man.
Would not be able to work, because if you're doing,
we all have to do the same job.
If you're, what?
Nothing. Huh? What?
No, you said something. I didn't hear that because your mic.
Okay, my question. Okay, I'm confused. Can you explain how this is natural? Why is it natural? Explain it. Like, what makes it natural?
I do not have the required information in education to.
I'm gonna have to ask
to back my claim up. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna have to ask for you to take it back.
But as a lot of scientists said, and can
you tell me the names of these scientists? I would like to know their qualifications. A lot of them have a
left-leaning bias, especially right now.
I would like to know these. I would like to know these scientists' qualifications.
And universities
They're Marxist.
Are 95% left-leaning. That they have proven that actually it is a naturalistic sort of law in quotes.
I would like to know the 95% of these professors so that I can look up every single one of their qualifications and I can see whether these claims that you are making hold true or not.
Well, I mean,
wait for you to list them off.
You can look up these studies if you want for yourself. I mean, and then you can also see for yourself that 95% or something like that is in university professors have a left-leaning bias.
Well, no, I mean that's probably true, but don't you think that's weird that 95% of the most educated people in our societies tend to lean left to be Marxist Antifa super soldiers?
Yeah, I actually find that very bad, because then
no, wait, why don't you think that's interesting?
Because then you don't have any sort of questions that you would ask. Oh, well, yeah, this must be true. The confirmation, yeah, there's some sort of confirmation bias. I should say. Yeah, confirmation.
Wait, but
bias.
isn't that kind of interesting? Like that, like it's just
And also,
weird. It's just
what do you
weird. They're
think?
the most
What do you
like
think of the
educated
study?
people.
What do you think of the study that say that as more egalitarian policies are made, as for example in Scandinavian countries, the more gender differences there will be between people, and this is also a
Haven't seen the
natural
study.
fact.
Haven't seen the study. Don't know what to say about it. I don't. Natural fact. Wait, natural fact. That sounds kind of.
Well, I mean, this is natural because there are two differences between males and females. There are cultural and biological differences, and if you try to minimize the cultural differences, you'll maximize the biological differences, which is exactly what's happening in Sweden. And
what do you mean by
they
cultural?
try to achieve equality of outcome, and it has not happened. But that's not really that has nothing to do with socialism. That's more like
no, that sounds like
egalitarian policy making, which is absolutely horrible. And
wait, egalitarian policy making is horrible?
Because this has been proven by these left leaning studies.
Well, you're just saying
you can read the study if you want.
me.
You can look them up. You can look them up on Google.
You know, I might do that.
You know,
however, I'm not going to take your word
for more than 20 years. So, yeah. Okay. They were not surprised. I mean, some people were, but you know, psychologists weren't surprised at all because they knew that this would happen, and this is exactly what's happening in Sweden. So yeah. Also, what do you think of all the migrants that we're pouring into Europe? I mean, I don't know if you know a whole lot about this, but
I don't know. I've heard they've done too many at once. But yeah, I don't really care. I mean, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that you don't care. I mean, why would you even care? I mean, you live in America, so I mean, it doesn't really affect you. So I mean,
well, no, it's not that. It's like I don't care that they let in a lot of immigrants. Like I think that's probably a good thing.
Oh, it's especially, a good thing that Islamic.
Pretty sure they were
Islamic
refugees
coming into this country.
Oh no!
Gay people
no, you're one of those.
You find that a good thing?
No, you're one of those. Oh god. Oh my god.
What do you mean you're one of those? What do you mean one of those? That Islamic people are beating up women on the streets and
that doesn't happen.
Gay people in the roof?
Doesn't happen.
From rooftops?
Doesn't happen.
Because I don't want these
in the European countries. Can you show me any proof that that's happening?
Certainly they won't come.
Can you show me any proof that that's happening in these European countries that you're talking about?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I will show you a video. Which are you? Oh, you're not sharing the screen on YouTube.
No, and also. Like 2 people isn't representative of a whole population.
Yes, you are right, but most of the terrorist attacks that were
done by right-wing extremists
and in Germany were committed by migrants. So
okay,
I don't see how that makes any
I don't
sense.
know how true that is.
I'm not saying that all the
even
people,
if I don't care. I said I don't know how true that is, but even if I don't care, and I don't think that you have a right in order, a right to prevent them from coming into your country. If they commit a crime, you can lock them up in prison when they commit that crime.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, certainly if they blow themselves up, then yeah, I'm gonna lock them in prison. What is that?
Shit, that sounds like racist fear mongering.
You can't really lock people up that died.
No, I'm just saying that you're kind of assessing to them that they're suicide bombers. It's kind of a racist stereotype.
That's
you're contributing
that's not racist. That's
yes,
not
it
racist
is.
At all.
Yes, it is.
Okay, well then it is. Sure. Right. But I still don't want these people in the country. And that's exactly what this government has done.
It seems
they
like
locked up the borders. So yeah, I'm very happy about that. That now none of these people are coming in the country. I'm very happy about that. And this is exactly where I'll be.
Dude, that's because you're racist.
Voting for these people. So anyway, now I really want to look up the video, but I forgot the name of the website because it was a Swedish website. So I don't exactly know what was it, but I think I can look them up in the.
So you're saying that you should prevent Muslims from coming in because they have the potential to be terrorist? Is that what you're saying? How come you don't hold that standard for everyone else?
Not necessarily Muslims. No. I wouldn't necessarily say. I would say that the people that are coming in from these Eastern cultures should not be coming into this country, because or at least not in this big amount. And should certainly have valid documents to and also have a work permit to work here. Because if they don't have that, I don't think that we should let illegal immigrants come here in this country that throw gay people off the roofs. I do not want that, and especially in these countries,
you're literally making these overarching claims. Okay, that's because that's by their government. That's not by these people specifically. Like, these people are literally leaving these oppressive governments that you were talking about in order to try and have a better life, and you are trying to prevent that. You are trying. They can't. What do you mean they can't integrate themselves?
I am trying to prevent that because they can't integrate into.
What does that mean? What does that even mean? Into Western society? Don't you live in Hungary, first of all?
Yeah, and. What does that do?
I'm pretty sure that's Eastern, but also I'm just saying that's weird that you're saying Western society because I'm pretty sure Hungary's Eastern. So
no, that's not an Eastern society. You're definitely mistaken there. We're a Christian culture, and I would consider Western culture Western.
Still,
culture.
Even if like, what do you mean they can't integrate? That's fucking absurd. That's not how that works.
Well, I mean, we had gypsies over here for more than 200 years, and they haven't been able to integrate themselves in here. Bro. And they actually don't even want to integrate themselves. So that's also one of the things that you might.
Okay, maybe they don't want to conform to your culture. What's wrong with that? As long as they're not harming anyone, that's perfectly fine. If they harm someone, lock them up for that.
They're not.
Lock them up at that point. Lock them up at the point when they're harming people.
I certainly don't want them in this country. So. I still didn't want to. I still don't know the. I still don't know the. Is it SK? SK.
Seems as though it does not exist.
No, I still didn't even search it up. But hold on. Let me see. All right. Can I actually share my screen in this? I think I can. It says go live, right? Is that it?
No, that wouldn't share the screen. That would just be you going live.
Well,
it's fine because if it's graphic, I don't want to show it. No.
Yeah, but I mean, you should see it. That's why I'm.
I can see what you're putting.
Let me search. Okay, where is it? Here. Okay. This is just one of these, and then there's another one, which is
the first one that you sent. Hold on, actually.
I haven't sent anything.
Oh, pump sending things that are talking about how fucked up your police are being to these immigrants and refugees. Then also some stuff.
Police are doing that because these people are
and also some stuff. Hungarian police order refugees off.
Can I call you in DMs, because then that would be much easier to share the screen then.
No, you don't. It's fine. You can just link the articles.
Okay.
No, anyways, but there's evidence to suggest that Hungary is being especially fucked to these migrants and refugees. So
no, actually, people in Hungary are if you actually look up these videos, then you will be able to see that these people all want to go to Germany because, back in 2015 when we had the migrant crisis, all they did is they literally were on the floor cleaning babies' asses. In the train station, and everybody was there. They were spreading germs. They were spreading all these horrible bacteria when we had these, and they were literally praying to go to Germany. So I don't think that migrants.
Well, yeah, I don't know why you would want to. I don't know why you'd want to be somewhere where the police are kind of beating the shit out of you.
No, police are not beating the shit out of migrants.
From these articles that I have been given by someone, the Guardian article talks about Hungarian police order refugees off train heading to Austrian border. In Hungary, police beat journalists covering refugee crisis at border.
Being hit. I mean,
armed migrants provide testimony on Hungarian police brutality.
You can't let illegal immigrants.
Hungarian border guards taking selfies with beaten migrants.
That's not what the Schengen Commission says, or whatever that's called. That's not what it says. You can't just if someone is illegal, you can't just let them into Austria. That's not how it works.
Wait, they're refugees. They're refugees.
Like that's why they're like, if you would be an illegal immigrant anywhere, like if I were an illegal immigrant in the US, then of course police would bid me up at the border because
What?
guess what? I'm a
No.
fucking legal immigrant. I don't
That's
have valid
fucked.
documents.
No.
And they're right
No.
that they're doing
No.
that because I should not be
No, they're
allowed in
not.
the country that I don't, because if I don't have
You
valid
can peacefully.
documents, then I should not be allowed in the country.
Even if you
So, yeah.
even if you think people should be deported or whatever, you can peacefully do
I
that.
didn't say that they were. I didn't say that they should be deported. I said that they should have valid documents to get in a country, which they don't have, especially, or the majority of the cases that they don't have.
So you think that they should be kicked out of the U.S.
These valid documents.
For that, you can still think that they could do that.
Give them
peacefully.
transport to Germany then. But guess what? Germany does not want these migrants, but they already were here because we did not have debate with an Islamophobe. Well, look, I'm an Islamophobe, yes, and I'm actually very proud of it because I do not want to get into a culture where people throw gay people off the roofs.
That's not how that works, bro.
Ashy. I do not want to be a part of that culture, especially not in a culture.
Well, shit, then you might not want to be in the West.
Where they oppress
you might not want to be in the
women,
West.
Okay.
You might not want to be in the West, dude. Those kind of stemmed up here. I don't know what you're doing here. I think we just in the U.S. we just legalized gay marriage in like what 2000.
The Western Islam is not the same as Eastern Islam. That has nothing to do with them. Okay?
I think we legalized gay marriage in 2015, dude. I don't think you want to come here. We're not. We're not really that much better.
Look, if you just want to talk over me, then fine, do that.
Well, if you're gonna be an Islamophobe, so
when are you done? When are you finished?
You can talk. You can talk.
Okay. Will you promise that you won't talk over me? Because then I'm just
depends what you say.
What do you mean depends on what I say? No, just don't talk over me.
We'll see. Could
you do that? Could you, please?
I will see how you behave when you start speaking, and I will act accordingly.
Okay. So anyway, what I wanted to say to Ashy is that I'm an Islamophobe because I don't believe that or these Eastern countries.
You're a racist, fucked up bigot. There's no dude. You can't justify being as an Islamophobe. You can't discriminate based on these people just because their governments are being oppressive.
Look. It was a good debate. But I think we got off on a little bad foot at the end, but
I wonder why.
It was fine. It was fine hearing your opinion. I appreciate the debate. But yeah, I think it was pretty good.
Okay.
How much?
You probably shouldn't. You probably shouldn't.
We were talking for like 2 hours.
Yes,
right?
and you probably not. You probably should not hold the people of a country to its oppressive government.
Yeah, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, just as I'm entitled to my opinion.
Well, it's it's a non sequitur.
It's very good that it's at least very good that we agree on that. So yeah.
It's all right. Your opinion's a non sequitur, and you're entitled to your opinion as long as it doesn't harm people.
Yeah, well, my opinion doesn't harm people, certainly.
I don't know about that much.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, well, thank you very much for the debate, and thank you for chat. Or thank you. What do I want to say? Yeah, thank you for the people in chat that were bringing up some interesting facts and some interesting comments. Really appreciate them. So yeah, it was pretty good hearing a leftist person's opinions because I don't really have a lot of friends anyway. I don't have friends at all to even talk to. So,
I'm sorry to hear that.
I mean. Well, you don't have to be sorry. That's my own fault. That has nothing to do with. I mean, you don't have to be sorry. I can do, I could do something in order for me to have friends, but yeah, let's just say that I don't have the same interests as regular 16-year-old people have. So, yeah. Anyway, I really appreciate talking to you. This guy is getting so triggered. Well,
don't worry. That's about me. That's not about you.
No, I mean that he probably said that to me.
No, he probably did. You were getting sure. Kind of trying to mad there.
What? Sorry.
Nothing.
What?
Nothing.
I didn't hear you. I mean, Discord kind of cut the audio off.
Just continue.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, you can be friends with us if you're also willing to hear yourself. Yeah, I'm totally. I'm willing to hear you out. This is exactly why I'm debating with him. So yeah. I mean, look, it's kind of very hard being being friends with people that I don't really know, especially not in real life. But I mean, look, this is how people should be reacting, right? Look at Ashy. How do you? I don't know how.
Ash, trust me, Ash does not agree with what you said about the migrant situation.
Oh, of course she doesn't, but that does not mean that we can't be friends. But anyway, so I just wanted to say that everybody should act like Ashy, that or Ash, that she at least accepts my opinion and doesn't say that. Well, I mean, he or she can be entitled to her opinion. And I don't really care what she thinks. She can have his own opinion, just as I can have mine. So but yeah, I really appreciate Ash, because she's not being a dick, I should say.
Yes,
sorry
quite
for my language,
quite elegantly spoken.
So yeah.
I mean,
I really appreciate that. That's very heartwarming comment.
You can be dicks to people who are being dicks. Just remember that, okay?
I mean, I don't accept your opinion, not gonna lie, but I think people are still willing to change them for better. I mean, look, I think
all right.
I think that my opinion is not bad or wrong or anything like that, just as I don't think that Lord Lemon's opinions are wrong. I certainly don't agree with them, but I don't think that they're wrong, because everybody's entitled to their own opinion. That's what free speech is about, which I certainly am an advocate of. But yeah, I really like this sort of thinking that Ash is writing in the chat. So I at least appreciate that, right? Because all the leftist people that I've talked to were very how do you say, aggressive and not really accepting, sort of. They just sort of attacked me.
Yeah, the ones that I talked to, they said that they wanted to ban all migrants from Eastern countries. Yeah, they were very accepting about that. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm glad that you were here. I love the debate in the future.
I mean, look. I think it's good, actually, that we don't agree, because it would be pretty boring if everybody would have the same opinion. But yeah, this is always be civil unless them Muslims come by.
All right. You don't have to read chat. So, anyways, I'm happy you came on. I'm glad we had a debate. I'm gonna head out. Okay. I would be happy to debate in the future.
Okay. Hold on.
Yep. Say your piece.
One more thing. Yeah. All I'm gonna say is thank you, Ash. Okay, that's it. All right.
Okay. Thank
you. Yeah.
Bye.
Goodbye. Good debate.
Have a good one.
All right.
All right. Does anyone want to do a voice call? What do we want to do now, viewers? Does anyone want to come in, do a voice call? What do we? Anything before we close off? That was interesting. Ooh, man, that was interesting. I didn't expect it at the end. I was very confused, especially about the poor gene. I thought that it might go mask off there, however, it didn't. Does anyone want to do join a voice call real quick, or do we want to just end it here? My knuckles. Hey, for all the new people in the stream, please subscribe, turn on post notifications. We do some stuff, usually political stuff. And if you're not in the Discord, please join the Discord. It is the first link, I believe, in the description. If you want to follow me on any other social medias, go ahead and join on there. I'm gonna end the stream here. I'll catch you on the next one. Yo, we had pretty good views this whole time. But yeah, all social media links in the description. Join my Discord. First link in the description. If you're new, sub and turn on post notifications and never miss anything. I'm gonna be in the Discord voice chat if anyone wants to join. Peace.